दयार इश्क में अपना मकाम पैदा कर, नया जमाना नए सुबह शाम पैदा कर.
Whenever I talk about Iqbal, I feel as if, I'm going against a throng, a multitude of people coming against me. And I feel as if I'm going to be trampled over and crushed and stampeded. The reason is that, despite the fact that Iqbal really is in my bones, he's in my ears, he's in my eyes, he's in my blood, I have a problem with the standard narrative of Iqbal. And my article in Dawn, Taimur Sahab has just mentioned, referred to that article. I talk about it in that article too. What I say is that over the past 80 years, it has been 80 years, 8 decades since the since the death of Iqbal. He died in 1928 on this date, 21st of April. Two treatments have been wrought on Iqbal. One is idealization of Iqbal, right? Turning Iqbal into an idea. I say that we have raised Iqbal from the domain of history into the domain of metaphysics, right? He is a cosmological force. So I talk about two treatments. Okay? One treatment I call idealization, meaning that we have raised Iqbal from the domain of history into the domain of metaphysics, right? He is a cosmological force. And an idea means that it does not have the impurities of real life. Real life has many gross elements. An ideal life has no imperfections. So by doing that, we have turned him into a hero with no blemishes. He's completely perfect, right? This is one thing about Iqbal. And I'm not saying it only for the sake of rhetorical expression, but there are serious consequences of this idealization. And I'll talk about it in a minute. The other treatment given to Iqbal, wrought on Iqbal, is what I call ideologization. He is an object of ideological constructions. And the ideological constructions of Iqbal, they are even more serious. The consequences of ideological constructions is even more serious than idealization. Now, when I talk about idealization, the problem is that the humanistic elements of Iqbal, his human frailties, his weaknesses, we put a cover over that, right? And so we see him as a dehumanized, totally dehumanized Iqbal. For example, let me tell you that Iqbal was interested in rearing pigeons. He was interested in flying kites. He wanted his son Javed Iqbal, who recently died, to be a good Quran reciter and a good orator, but also a good wrestler. He wanted him to be a champion wrestler. Not many people would talk about the fact that he wanted to become an extra assistant commissioner in the Punjab government, in the Punjab civil service, and actually he took the exam and he was disqualified on medical grounds. But then more than that, he was married at the age of 15. And by the age of 19, he had children. Now, he had befriended this lady called Atiya Faizi. Atiya Faizi, he met in Europe and became very close to her. When he came back to Lahore after his stay in Cambridge and Heidelberg, he wrote letters to her. And in his letters, he bitterly criticizes his father for marrying him at that young age. And he says that my father had no right to arrange my marriage. And I resent the fact. I resent the fact that I was coerced into marriage. Now, this is very interesting because you see the human side of somebody who is uncomfortable with his family life, right? We don't hear about it. But more than that, and this will come to you as a surprise, that he talks about taking refuge in alcohol, in drinking. And he said that I'm a human being and I have a right to happiness as a human being. If the society or nature denies me that, I will rebel against both. I will rebel against both. And then he says that I have contemplated on taking refuge in alcohol because that makes suicide easy. Now, nobody hears about all these things, but well, this makes him human. You see human frailties, human weaknesses, right? Human failures. Note here something very interesting, that he says that he will defy not only society but also nature, meaning that he will indulge in acts that are unnatural acts too. He says that in writing. Now, this is my point, that by turning him into such a grand hero, you put a veil over all of that. And we begin to forget that there were human frailties in him, and that there is a flesh and blood human being who was like us in his daily life. So that is one thing I need to point out to you. The other thing, ideologization, reconstructing Iqbal in ideological terms, that is even more damaging. You know, I've said this before in my writings, that Iqbal has been left in the open market of ideological vendors. It's a bazaar, it's an ideological bazaar. And there are different vendors, and they claim ownership of Iqbal. So there are those who, for example, talk about Iqbal's message, and I have a serious problem in talking about Iqbal's message. The thing is that Iqbal's fundamental identity, his fundamental identity is that of a poet, right? All else is secondary to that. It is Iqbal the poet we love, it is Iqbal the poet we sing, it is Iqbal the poet who rules our heart, it is Iqbal the poet who's carved in our memories. You remove that, and everything becomes pretty mundane. So this is the issue, that since he is a poet, and you know that poetry admits of contradictions. Contradiction is something very good in art, for example. Art is full of contradictions. You sing a note and then you sing another opposing note, and this kind of a dialectic is very important in art. Contradictions really are like flowering catalysts in art. Contradictions in rational logic is fatal, but contradictions in poetry, they are beautiful, right? I could be bounded in a nutshell and consider myself the king of infinities. This is Shakespeare, right? It's so beautiful. Or we talk about sound of silence. Sound of silence is a contradiction. How can silence have sound? But we do talk about sound of silence, and it seems very interesting. बे-एतदालियों में सुबुक सबसे हम हुए, जितने ज़्यादा हो गए उतने ही कम हुए. जितने ज़्यादा हो गए उतने ही कम हुए. The more I was, the less I was. This is Ghanem. See, contradiction. So contradictions are not a problem. But if you talk about Iqbal's message, the trouble is that poetry yields a multiplicity of meanings. Not a single. You can never draw a coherent philosophical system out of poetry. You cannot draw a philosophical system out of Shakespeare or out of Ghalib or out of Iqbal. It is not possible, because it has to do with moods, it has to do with conditions, it has to do with changing colors and shades, it has to do with nuances of human experience. So the poetry gives rise to a multiplicity of meanings. So you don't have one message, you have multiplicity of messages. There are times when he sounds very Marxist. There are times when he speaks against Marxism. There are times when he praises heart as opposed to the mind. Sometimes he talks about the mind all the time. The thing is that this is all poetry. And in poetry, we admit all of that. So this is the problem with Iqbal's message. I don't know what it means. I really don't know what it means. In this vein, in this ideological vein, they talk about his philosophy. And in this matter, his reconstruction of religious thought in Islam is at the core, and it is the only core that they consider. Now, I have written a lot about this, and if you consider the reconstruction, Iqbal's reconstruction, as a work of philosophy, it gives rise to many embarrassing questions. There are many contradictions, there are many inconsistencies, right? And he, for example, joins together Islamic philosophy with Western philosophy without regard to the fact that in their metaphysical grounding, they're entirely different. So, for example, Bergson, I don't want to be technical with you, but for example, Bergson is related to Ash'ari, and Ash'ari is related to Ibn Khaldun, and the metaphysical grounds of all these systems are different. They just cannot be joined together. And there are other issues as well. There are speculative issues. He speculates. So, for example, just to give him an example, the Quran talks about the creation of the world in an instant. At another place, it talks about the creation of the world in several days, like the Bible, right? So there is an inconsistency. How to explain that inconsistency? So Iqbal would say, well, times are of two kinds, right? There is this serial time and there is this metaphysical time. And when Quran talks about an instant, it is talking about metaphysical time. When it talks about several days, it is talking about serial time. The trouble is that you can ask him, sir, why not 3 kinds of time? Why 2? Why not 5 kinds of time? Why 2? Why 2? So this is all speculative. This is speculative philosophy. 2 kinds of time, I can say there are 4 kinds of time. I can say there are 5 kinds of time. So these are the issues which is never the case with traditional interpretation of the Quran. This is his way of doing things, and it is highly speculative and problematic. So these are the issues with his reconstruction, and as I said, my fundamental thesis is that you have to consider him a poet, and he may have thoughts. He is a philosopher in the sense that my grandmother is a philosopher, and my dad is a philosopher. My son is a philosopher, so in that sense he's a philosopher, meaning a mode of thought, a reasoned position on things. But other than that, in the sense of Kant and Hegel and Plato and Aristotle, we have embarrassing issues arising out of Iqbal. Now there are other people who would call him a Marxist. Because he does write very strongly in praise of Marx. Iqbal is one of those few people in the history of Urdu and Persian poetry who have written dialogues. He has written dialogues. There's a massive and very beautiful dramatic element in his poetry. And in his work, which was published after his death, Ar-Mughani Hijaz, the gift of Hijaz. Hijaz is a region in Arabia, as you know. The Gift of Hijaz, the book was published actually after his death. Now in Al-Mughani Hijaz, there is a body of consultants, advisors, who advise Satan, Iblis. Yeah, the devil has a board of advisors, and they advise him. And they go out and they come back with reports. And one of them actually comes back and he's very nervous. He's shaking. And Iblis asks him what the matter is, what happened. And he said, I've just met Karl Marx. And then he praises Karl Marx, in glowing terms. In glowing terms. Qalime be tajalli, Masih be salib, nis payghambar walikin dar bagal darat kitab. मसीह बेतजल्ली कलीम बेतजल्ली कलीम बेतजल्ली मसीह बेसलीब नीस पैगम्बर वलेकिन दर बगल दारत किताब. He is a Moses, okay, who does not have the lightning, right? Moses was shown the light of God, according to biblical and Quranic accounts. So here is a Moses without the light. Here is a Jesus without the cross. He's not a prophet, but under his arms there's a book. So raising him to the level even of prophecy. In Zarb-e Kalim, for example, in Zarb-e Kalim, there is a beautiful poem called Karl Marx Ki Awaaz, the voice of Karl Marx, and it is absolutely wonderful. Ye ilm o hikmat ki mohrabazi, this chess game of knowledge and wisdom. ये इल्म व हिकमत की मोहराबाजी, ये बहस व तकरार की नुमाइश नहीं है दुनिया को अब गवारा पुराने अफकार की नुमाइश. तेरी किताबों में हकीम माश रखा ही क्या है आखिर, खुतूत खमदार की नुमाइश, मुरेज़ व कशदार की नुमाइश. Oh, expert of economy, what do you have in your book? What do you have in your book? You have graphs. You only draw graphs. You don't give me bread. So there is this passionate feeling about Karl Marx through and through, but is he a Marxist? There are cases when he would speak against Karl Marx, right? There are cases when he would consider socialistic thought to be antithetical to the very spirit of Islam. On the other hand, on the one hand, for example, just give you another example. On the one hand, ठीक है, thank you, Jai. बस ले जाए. On the one hand, so now, and I'll translate everything for you, and if you have problems, stop me, and I'll do that again. Muride faqamaste guft ba sheikh. A starving murid said to the pir, said to the sheikh, said to his lord, Muride faqamaste guft ba sheikh ke yazdan ro zihale ma khabar neest. God does not know my condition. Khuda ko meri khabar nahi hai. Muride dekh himmat dekhiye. Look at this courage. Muride faqamaste guft ba sheikh ke yazdan ro zihale ma khabar neest bama nazdik ash-shahr ge mast. कहा जाता है ना, खुदा जो है वो शहरक से भी करीब है ना, कहा जाता है हब्ल वरीद से भी ज़्यादा करीब. तो बमा नज़दीक आज शहर के मास वाली कि न शिकम नज़दीक तरनीस, लेकिन पेट से ज़्यादा करीब नहीं है. उससे तो करीब होगा लेकिन पेट से ज़्यादा करीब नहीं है. फूड, राइट, बेसिक नीड. मुझे तो रोटी चाहिए, राइट. मुझे तो पहले पैसा फिर भगवान, है ना. वी नीड रोटी. तो वो फाका मस्त है ना मुरीद, चूँकि बिकॉज ही स्टार्टिंग, ही इज सेइंग कि ठीक है खबर हो, वो हमसे करीब होगा लेकिन पेट से ज़्यादा करीब. This is the rebellion. And the famous poem in this vein, which is often quoted by these socialist left-wing ideologues, उठो मेरी दुनिया के गरीबों को जगा दो और काखे उमरा के दरो दीवार हिला दो. जिस खेत से दहका को मैसर न हो रोज़ी, उस खेत के हर खोशे गंदम को जला दो. It's really very strong. जिस खेत से दहका को मैसर न हो रोज़ी, उस खेत के हर खोशे गंदम को जला दो. वो भी मौजूद है, ठीक है. This is Karl Marx. On the other hand, आप देखिए, in the same book he says something else. In the same book there is something else. इश्क से पैदा नवाए ज़िंदगी में ज़ीरो बम. ब्यूटीफुल. ज़िंदगी की आवाज़ में उतार चढ़ाव पैदा होता है इश्क से. The rise and fall of the sound of life is due to love. इश्क से पैदा नवाए ज़िंदगी में ज़ीरो बम. इश्क से मिट्टी की तस्वीरों में सोजे दम बदम. बर्निंग, हर सांस पर बर्निंग. आदमी के रेशे रेशे में समा जाता है इश्क, शाखे गुल में जिस तरह बादे सहर गाही का नम. फूल की शाख में जैसे सुबह की नमी आ जाती, शाख गुल में जिस तरह बादे सहर गाही का नम, देन ही सेज दिल की आज़ादी शहनशाही, शिकम सामान मौत, स्टमक इस ये मौत का सामान. ऑन द वन हैंड ही इज सेइंग कि खुदा से भी ज़्यादा नज़दीक मेरा पेट मुझसे. ऑन द अदर हैंड ही इज सेइंग शिकम सामान मौत, फैसला तेरा, तेरे हाथों में है दिल या शिकम. So this is what I'm saying, that if you recast him, if you remanufacture him in any ideological mode, I can bring other evidence to cast him in an opposing ideological mode. There is no way you can settle the matter. The only way to settle the matter is to consider that he is a poet. Right, and he is a great poet. एक मसला ये पैदा हो गया, आप लोगों की बात मालूम है. This is what I mourn, that we have lost languages. Right, we have lost languages. There is no language left. No English, no Urdu, no Saraiki, and no Sindhi, and we have lost it. As a result, we are unable to read Iqbal. Right, we are pretty far away. मेरा challenge है कि if I pick 3 of you randomly and give you the first page of the first book of Iqbal, perhaps you don't even know what the first book is. Yeah, thank you. If I give you the first page, you will have difficulty. ऐ हिमालय, ऐ फसीले किश्वरे हिंदुस्तान, अगर मैं दूं तो आपको मुश्किल हो जाएगी, and you are not to be held responsible for that. Let me say that I am not holding you culpable. The culpability is not yours. The culpability is mine. It's my generation that has not given it to you. आपका तो कोई कसूर नहीं है, but you will not be able to read it. मुझे मालूम है, randomly मैं दे दूँ ना तो नहीं पढ़ सकते. बच्चों को बहुत शौक होता है कि we'll do, read Iqbal's poems, and then I ask them to come and read them before me, and dozens come and nearly all fail. Nearly all. एक आध कहीं से वो निकलता है, फिर उसकी भी तरबियत करनी पड़ती. So this is the problem, that you have lost languages, and therefore everything other than his poetry is talked about. And what is the chief good, the summum bonum, right? The jewel in the crown, the diamond, right? The pearl in the oyster, that is totally neglected. Let me tell you that in terms of Iqbal's poetic virtuosity, there is hardly anyone in the entire tradition of Urdu poetry and Persian poetry, and I'll go even further than that, and say that even in world poetry, there is hardly anyone to compare. The range, the care. You can, for example, learn language through Iqbal, right? The reason being that Iqbal follows meters, right? He is in the classical mode, and classical, even modern poetry, it has certain metrical requirement. It has certain metrical requirement. In the ghazal, for example, every line of the ghazal has to be in the same meter. And if you misread a word, for example, you introduce a vowel when there is no vowel, or remove a vowel when there is a vowel, you will break the meter. So the meter controls you. The meter controls you. And hence you begin, just I read Ghalib at a fairly young age. तो उनकी गज़ल है कि क्या तंग हम सितम ज़दगां का जहान है जिसमें कि एक बेज़ाए मोर आसमान है. क्या तंग हम सितम ज़दगां का जहान है जिसमें कि एक बेज़ाए मोर आसमान है. हम सितम ज़दगान जो हैं उनकी दुनिया इतनी तंग, सो नैरो कि पूरा आसमान इज़ लाइक दी एग ऑफ एन एंट. चूंटी के अंडे के बराबर है पूरा आसमान, इतना तंग है. क्या तंग. Now, since I read it correctly in the meter, क्या तंग हम सितम ज़दगां, मैं ज़दगां कह नहीं सकता. I cannot say ज़दगां. सैलाब ज़दगां is wrong. It has to be ज़दगां, because there is a fatha, there is a zabar on the dal. उसके बगैर वो पढ़ा नहीं जा सकता. And Iqbal is so very careful. For example, the word Allah, whenever he uses the word Allah, it comes with the ha of Allah. Allah नहीं पढ़ सकते. Allah पढ़ना पड़ता है. यकीन मिसले खलील आतिश नशीनी, यकीन अल्लाह मस्ती खुद गुज़ीनी, सुने तहजीब हाजिर के गिरफ्तार, ग़ुलामी से बतर है बेयकीनी। अल्लाह, इक़बाल भी इक़बाल से आगाह नहीं है, कुछ इसमें तमस्खुर नहीं, वल्लाह नहीं है, वल्लाह। You know, there are many poets who write wallah, है ना, वो हुए मुझसे हम कलाम अल्लाह अल्लाह, never in इक़बाल। उसकी गलती पर उलमा थे मुतबस्सिम, इस इक़बाल, उसकी गलती पर उलमा थे, उलमा थे मुतबस्सिम। Such care, through and through, from the beginning to the end, इतनी एहतियात। और great art actually arises out of, you know, playing within the restrictions. If you break the restrictions, there is no fun in it. If Atif Aslam breaks the meter or he messes up the language, there is no fun in it. बात तो जब है कि you remain within it. Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan sings his rags and he is within the bounds. लेकिन उसके अंदर he creates, you know, subtonalities, right? He creates within it, he does. That's why you never know what the performance is going to look like, how you'll hear it, because he plays within it, does not break it. Us pabandi ke saath. Calligraphy, for example. You cannot invent new letters. You have given number of letters and you play with that. That is the joy of the virtuosity of art. And Iqbal, you know, follows all those restrictions, and within those restrictions, you know, he performs miracles. Now, this is the kind of position I have, and you know, it is true that every people. I'm not using the word nation because that itself is a problem. So I cannot use a term that is problematic for me. Nation is a problem for me. Every community creates its heroes, no doubt, right? Whether you have the, you know, founding fathers of America, or whether you have Tariq ibn Ziyad, or whether you have, you know, Quaid-e-Azam, we have our ideals. Isme to koi shak nahi ki there are ideals. And it is also true that Iqbal has played a very important doctrinal role in the creation of Pakistan. One thing you should remember conceptually is that it was Iqbal who turned a communalistic demand into a nationalistic demand. So not that Muslims were a minority, but Muslims were a different nation, different people, right? There's a difference. It is not a question of minority or majority, it's a question of different set of people, a different community. So there's a conceptual difference between communalism and this kind of nationalism. They are different. He does not use the word nation, he would say community or people or something like that. They're different peoples, they're distinct people. It is not a matter of, you know, the movement was henceforth, since Iqbal said this in the 1930s, the movement was not couched in terms of majority-minority, but in terms of what we call two-nation theory. They're different people, and so there is an ontological shift. There's an ontological shift. It is not historically contingent. It is essentially so. Even if history had been different, a cat would be a cat. A triangle would have three sides, right? The angles will add up to 180 no matter what, because it is part of the essence of a triangle. So he is very important from that point of view. But my appeal to you and my concern is that one has to rehabilitate Iqbal as the poet, and we will face problems if we deny that. And the only way to deal with it really is to go back to the text. And text reading is very important. People talk about, you know, I have seen translations of Iqbal, and they're highly misleading. For example, he would purposely avoid the word nation, and the translator uses the word nation. He says community. Ummat ya millat. Not watan, but millat. And the translator turns it into nation, which is against Iqbal's position on nationalism. So this is the kind of thesis I have. And I think that shall we open up for questions? you must provoke me so that we continue. I'm sure you do. Yes, yes.
Why do you think that they did not get Iqbal's understanding or the way he felt in his everyday life come to the same public eye?
The fact that his personal private life was, well, it always happens when you turn a human being into an ideal. There are many facts about Jinnah Sahib we cannot talk about, right? We just cannot talk about because he has been turned into an ideal. So, and I think that people need it. Communities need their heroes. We need our heroes, and the heroes are ideas. They are mental entities. They're not real historical entities, right? But then it is also your intellectual responsibility to investigate the human being. वो भी तो ज़रूरी है ना? ठीक है, my grandfather was the best grandfather ever, but I need to know. I need to know as an intelligent human being, I need to know his personality, his weaknesses, his faults and flaws and qualities. I cannot turn him into an ideal and sit like that. This is the problem, that it is not becoming very difficult to criticize Iqbal's personality due to this process of idealization that has happened over the past 8 decades, over the past 80 years. It's very difficult. So this is the thing. It is a process of turning him into a hero. And turning people into heroes, while it is perhaps necessary, it has some losses. And in the case of Iqbal, it has had serious losses. When his position on men and women marrying freely, he says that they should, boys and girls should marry freely. No, parents cannot coerce them. If you look at his correspondence with Atiya Faizi, she says that कि हमारे कितने बच्चे हैं जो बर्बाद हो गए because they were married off at the age of 15. And at the age of 19, he had children. And he resented it. He says, I resent my father for coercing me into this alliance. I was not ready for it. I was too young. Why did he do this? And he says that कि हमारे कितने लोग जो हैं, they wilt because of it. So there is this position in terms of cultural issues and issues of the growth of the youth that nobody talks about due to the idealization, because he's a hero. He cannot have any problems at all. G. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes.
How much did that really influence Iqbal's poetry? What did it change his poetry completely? I'm not sure about that. So, if you would elaborate on that. दूसरा ये कि आपने बात की कि इकबाल का जो मैसेज है
जी
वो बड़ा वो कोई क्लियरली मैं नहीं बता सकता.
Right.
So many contradictions.
Right.
So then how, because nations, when they have these, like we talk about idealization,
Right.
they need clear-cut answers.
Yes.
We cannot have a
Yes,
show
but
that's
you
full of
see,
contradiction.
yeah. Well, I mean, let me answer your second question first. You see, there is a historian's burden. And I'm talking about the historian's burden. It's my burden. I need to know. I cannot, live on myths. As a historian, I cannot live on myths. मुझे याद है कि I was in America, and somebody came to me and he said, do you know what Marilyn Monroe had for breakfast? Because Marilyn Monroe too is a myth, right? Not real Marilyn Monroe, but constructed Marilyn Monroe. Newton is also constructed, for example. Newton too, we have Enlightenment discourses and narratives about Newton which are completely incorrect. So do you know what Marilyn Monroe had for breakfast? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, you're a Harvard student. You don't know? I said, what a shame. I said, no, I'm ashamed of myself. She used to have whiskey in the morning. I said, oh, well, really? She used to have whiskey. Now, true, untrue, I don't know, but it constructs a kind of a picture. There's a portrait that comes out of that, and things fall into that portrait, which you make them fall. So see, there is a burden on the historian, right? On the scholar, and I'm talking about that burden. I need to know that. I cannot close historical questions. I have to open historical questions, right? This is the first. The second thing is that yes, indeed, there's an evolution of thought in Iqbal, very clear actually. In the beginning, he believed in nationalism, and he was very much into Indian nationalism, very much so. His position on his Indian identity was very strong. सारे जहाँ से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी ये गुलसिता हमारा, शुरू में. And then his very first poem is about the mountain ranges of India. And you know, he rejoices over that. He dances on that. Right? ऐ हमारा ऐ फसीले किश्वरे हिंदुस्तान, चूमता है तेरी पेशानी को झुक कर आसमां. Right? So much so. In the beginning, सारे जहाँ से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी ये गुलसिता हमारा. In the beginning, मेरा वतन यही है, मेरा वतन ये. You see? तो नूह क्या जहाँ फना का रुका सफीना मेरा वतन वही वगैरह. But then that is one thing. The other thing is that he had a certain position with regard to Sufism. He was into classical Sufism, you know, this Sufism of Ibn Arabi and so on, which people sometimes describe as pantheism, right? Pantheism meaning, you know, everything is God. If I'm a reflection of God, then I'm God too. We are all drops from the same ocean, and the drop has the same characteristics as the water of the ocean, so I am also God. Pantheism, everything is God. He had that position. There's a break with both of them. So from Indian nationalism, it becomes a pan-Islamic kind of position that he had after that. So, you know, on the one hand, you have Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustan Hamara, Hum Bulbule Hain Iski Ye Gulsita Hamara. Then he changes it. Chino Arab Hamara, Hindustan Hamara, Muslim Ham Watan hai, Sara Jahan Hamara. Muslim Ham Watan hai, Sara Jahan. The whole world is my Watan. The whole thing changed. So his position with regard to Sufism, which is very important because he had developed an idea of action, not passivity, but activity. And in this context, you understand his philosophy of khudi, my own self. जब आदम को जन्नत से निकाला गया ना, तो फरिश्तों ने they sang a farewell song. This is Iqbal, a farewell song. अता हुई तुझे रोज़ शब की बेताबी, किसे खबर कि तू खाकी है या कि सीमा भी. उसकी फरिश्ते रुखसत करते, वो गीत गाते हैं. Then Adam arrives on earth, and then the earth sings a song. And the earth simply says that if a heaven is given to you, you will not be comfortable. You have to earn your heaven. खोल आँख, ज़मी देख, फलक देख, फ़ज़ा देख, मशरिक़ से उभरते हुए सूरज को ज़रा देख. ये वाली नज़्म है ना, जचते नहीं बख्शे हुए फिरदौस नज़र में, बख्शे हुए फिरदौस नज़र में नहीं जचते. So this idea of action beyond passivity, he felt that traditional Ajami, somebody has written Ajam here, the Ajami Sufism, the Irani kind of Sufism, leads to passivity. Piri Muridi ye wo. And he rejected that. And rather than you know, this idea of pantheism, where we are all gods, we are our own selves, right? And our fruition lies in the realization of the potentials that we have. So the act of a seed is to turn into a tree. That is the potential. right? It fulfills its potential. Human beings have creative potentials that they must create, right? इस दश्ते जहाँ ताब की खामोश फ़ज़ा में फितरत ने फ़कत रेत के टीले किए तामीर. He went to see the pyramids of Egypt, and he says, look, what did nature do? Heaps of sand. That's all nature could do. But see what a human hand has done. इस दश्त जहाँ ताब की खामोश फ़ज़ा में फितरत ने फ़कत रेत के टीले किए तामीर. अहराम की अज़मत से निगूसार हैं अफलाक. अहराम की अज़मत से निगूसार हैं अफलाक. किस हाथ ने खींची अबदियत की ये तस्वीर. We have the image of eternity here. अबदियत, eternity. किसने खींची तस्वीर? किस हाथ ने खींची अबदियत की तस्वीर? And then you remember that there is a dialogue between the human being and God in Payam-e Mashriq. No, not Shiqwa, in Payam-e Mashriq. और उसमें यह है कि वो आपने रात बनाई तो मैंने चिराग बना लिया. ये इंसान ने किया ना. आपने मिट्टी बनाई तो मैंने प्याले बना दिए उसके. Right? तो शब आफरीदी चिराग आफरीदम, सिफाल आफरीदी अयाग आफरीदम. तो मैंने, this is human creativity. This is human creativity. अगर सर्दी ना होती तो ये हम लोग कपड़े वपड़े जो designer clothes and all that, it's because we have to counter certain natural forces. I need to cover myself, right? Otherwise I'll be sick. And so, you know, I have all these designs and, you know, tailoring and clothes design and fashion and all. That's all human creativity. So this is the point. To realize one's potential to the full is for him submission to God, not passivity. इताअत इस चीज़ का नाम नहीं है कि सर झुका के गार में बैठ जाएं. इताअत इस चीज़ का नाम है कि मेरे अंदर जो सलाहियतें हैं उनको मैं पूरी तरह बरूए कार लाऊं. Right? इताअत जो है when you are obedient, obedience is not to sit in passivity with your head down. Obedience is in fulfilling one's potentials, realizing one's potential. That is obedience. The obedience for a seed is to grow into a tree. The obedience for a human being is to realize his or her given potentialities into its fullness. So this is a very interesting thing that he develops during his stay in Germany and in England. And there is a clear evolution of ideas that you see from, you know, in the beginning, the language that Iqbal uses is very simple. Very, very, very simple, right? Very simple. जुगनू की रोशनी है काशाना चमन में या शम्मा जल रही है फूलों की अंजुमन में. This is very simple. आया है आसमां से उड़कर कोई सितारा या जान पड़ गई है सूरज की एक किरण में. It's very simple. But as you go further, you know, it becomes richer and richer and richer and richer. Not, I mean, you have to make an effort to access his intention and his meaning. मेरी नवाए शौक़ से शोर हरी मिज़ात में, मेरी नवाए शौक़ से शोर हरी मिज़ात में, गुलगुलहाए अलमा बुतकदाए सिफ़ात में, and so on. So yes, there is a very clear, and of course there is an influence of Western thought also on him, right? He speaks very highly of Nietzsche, and Nietzsche has had an influence on him. His idea of Superman, which is in his Bandai moment. Okay, good. Yes.
You were talking about Lost in Translation.
You read that. Oh, Lost in Translation. Okay.
So I was actually wanted to ask that, a lot of things when culturally is supported with the linguistic of that time.
Yep.
So what do you feel like, or how do you feel like when it's translated into this present age where the language has changed a lot and it's very fast paced? So how does that information cater to audience of people?
You see, the language of course changes, the idioms change, right? But there are certain universal issues that can be translated, that can be shifted, transposed. I mean, I think that, for example, Shakespeare deals with universal issues, love and hate and jealousy and so on, and any period of time will recognize that. You couch it in a different idiom, true. You have to keep the conceptual differences in Iqbal, conceptual nuances and the semantic range that he has while translating. You cannot collapse them. So there's a difference between a community and a nation. When he says community, you cannot say nation because they are conceptually different, right? There's a difference between the two. Nations are defined something else, and a community is defined like something else. I mean, the community of Muslims, for him, whether it is in Istanbul or in Delhi and Lahore, it is the same, not from a nationalistic point of view. See, so there are universal issues which are rendered, and the quality of a good translator is to recognize those universal notions and keep the nuances, the differences in the translation and not close them up. Otherwise, it'll be a bad translation. Yes. Which book? Okay, yes. Right. Yeah.
So, someone here is publishing, and on the referral of that guy, because he has been behind him because of this crime.
Right.
Iqbal used these words, कि तुम बाजी ले गए हमसे.
Sorry?
Iqbal used these words, कि तुम हमसे बाजी ले गए. ठीक है? So my question is that कि क्या इकबाल एक्सट्रीमिज्म या क्योंकि अब आज की सिचुएशन में अगर आपके पास इकबाल के मैसेज को समझना चाहिए, पढ़ना चाहिए, लैंग्वेज एज यू मेंशन कि लैंग्वेज एक्ट इज अ ग्रेट बैरियर. बट अगर हम ट्रांसलेशन की पढ़ें या हम उसको सही से मैसेज को पढ़ें, अगर इस इंसिडेंट की हम बात करते हैं तो हिस्ट्री में हुआ आज की करंट सिचुएशन से हम कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं, तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि क्या इकबाल ने सिर्फ उस एक्सट्रीमिज्म, क्योंकि इकबाल की पोइट्री में जहाँ बहुत पीस और हार्मनी का भी जिक्र है, तो उसमें इस इंसिडेंट को हम देखें तो इसको मतलब क्या रेट कर सकते हैं इसको आपके साथ?
अच्छा, देखिए, एक बात तो मैं आपसे दोबारा अर्ज करता हूँ, एंड आई थिंक आई वाज नॉट क्लियर, और वो ये है कि यू कैन नॉट टॉक अबाउट दी मैसेज ऑफ इकबाल. इकबाल के कई पैगामात, एक नहीं है, ये भी और पीस भी है, लेकिन साथ साथ उसमें जंग व जदल भी है. तेगो तो फंग दस्ते मुसलमान में है कहाँ, है ना, हों भी तो दिल है मौत की लज्जत से बेखबर, पलटना झपटना झपट कर पलटना, लहू गर्म रखने का एक बहाना, है ना, ये भी है सर. शमशीर की भी बात, शमशीर की भी बहुत बातें हैं उसके अंदर, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो एक ही चीज़ है. नाउ यू रिमेंबर दैट, सो डू नॉट टॉक अबाउट दी मैसेज. पहली बात है. दूसरी बात यह है कि यू वन हैज़ टू लुक एट द सर्कमस्टेंसेस इन विच दैट इंसिडेंट हैपेंस. One cannot identify those circumstances with what happened recently in Mardan with that innocent kid who was so brutally murdered by a mob. They're totally different. There are many cases during the British period of time. देखिए मैं आपको एक बात बताऊं, and please look at it in a very informal sense. कोई आपकी माँ को गाली देता रहे, क्या होगा? You are a human being, right? You will punch the person one day. आप कहेंगे बाबा रहने दो, छोड़ो, चलो मेरी माँ खराब है, मत कहो, वो कहता चला जाए. Will you not punch the person? You will. ये बिल्कुल फितरी बात है. Now, if provocation after provocation after provocation happens and somebody goes through with that, Iqbal never, ever pleaded the case. He let the person being hanged to whoever. Let the law take its course. He never did that. People went to him. There's a poem in Zarb-e Kalim, it's called Lahore or Karachi. There was one execution in Lahore, another execution in Karachi on this event, on this incident, right? And people went to him. Because he was a lawyer too. He was a barrister. He did not take the case. He wrote a poem, and a very beautiful poem. Nazar Allah pe rakhta hai, Musalman-e ghuyur. मौत क्या आशा है फ़कत आलम मानी का सफ़र, इन शहीदों की दियत अहले कलीसा से न मांग, कदर व कीमत में है खून जिनका हरम से बढ़कर. He never pleaded the case. He let the law take its course. Now you cannot sort of mix the two. The circumstances in which what happened in Mardan is totally different. It was a mob attack in which the administration of the university was involved, and there was no evidence whatsoever. There's no history. So therefore, there are two different things. One is, one can be provoked. I mean, it is good that you control yourself. But if you go on and on and on and on, it may happen. So please don't do this. You go to Nazi camp survivors and you go and praise Hitler, they will do something to you. They will turn it into a law and call it hate crime. Right? It is a crime in Germany to deny what they call the Holocaust. It's a crime. You can go to prison for that. Right? So, you know, you can legislate. You can turn it into a law. But this is human nature. मेरे बाप को मेरे सामने मत बुरा कहो, बार-बार मत कहो. Right? Repeatedly mat karo. And you see, there are very interesting developments in history. ये सारा case जो है, the satanic verses, Salman Rushdie, Muslims are very comfortable about it. If you look at the history of this issue, they were completely comfortable. There are books in which they talk about it. कि शैतान ने बहकाया और फिर हज़रत जिब्रील आए उन्होंने दुरुस्त कर दिया उसको. There was no problem. How come all of a sudden people were killed on that account? वही था ना. The Quran has not changed. What has happened? Something else has changed. Because the doctrine remains the same. In the Muslim tradition, in the Arabic tradition, there are books on the satanic verses where they are very, very comfortable. They use it to humanize the Prophet upon whom be peace. He's a human being. He can err and God will correct him. Ab hota ye ke people are killed, so the circumstances have changed. So you look at causes outside the text, in the social conditions. कि क्या हुआ था कि अब लोग मरते हैं, पहले नहीं मरते थे. There are times when madrasa curriculum was the same and it was never used for radical purposes. Now they are used for radical purposes. So it has nothing to do with the syllabus. It has to do with outside conditions. That in good times and bad times make use of the standard syllabus. वही चीज़ उस ज़माने में ठीक थी, अब गड़बड़ हो गई. You see what I mean? So this is the thing, and one has to be very, very careful. Ji. Yes. Well, I mean, you know, there is always a narrative. Every society has its narrative. पीर साहब का narrative होता है, दादा जान का narrative होता है, and then, you know, people are idealized that way, which is fine. It gives rise to cohesion. You know, people, sociologists will say this, that this gives rise to cohesion. Durkheim, for example, Durkheim will accept that. ये तो होता ही है. You know, people create their gods, and gods, they are, you know, you can imagine any object, and that object has become a god. पत्थर हो, लकड़ी हो, वो दरख्त हो, जानवर हो, इंसान हो, gods बन गए ना वो. So it is not the object which is important. It is the fact that it gives rise to a cohesive society. This is what anthropologists say. So it is a need. It's a need for the common person. It is a need for you know, an ordinary person to have you know, some symbols, and we live in symbols. Symbols are very important. Qaid-e-Azam is a symbol, and you know, it's a symbol we need. वरना तो बिखर जाएगा ना. वो बिखरना नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन जैसा कि मैंने कहा, there is also a historian's burden, right? And you have to open up, especially if it does not disturb the ideal. यानी अगर suppose that he wanted his son to be a wrestler, or that he you know, contemplated on becoming an alcoholic and committing suicide, it does not tarnish his image in my eyes. मगर लोग उसको छुपाते हैं. So ये बात है कि for the sake of a common member of the community, they need heroes. We all need heroes. But then there is another responsibility on us to investigate, and we open up questions of history and biography, and then find out, you know, about the real flesh and blood person. So this is the kind of situation there is. जी जी देखें as for his personal life, we have put a veil over much of it. So we really don't know much about his personal life. मालूम नहीं क्योंकि वो छुप गया है. It has been hidden. तो वो तो loss हुआ ही है. And I think it always pays to make a historical investigation of the person. Iqbal is deeply impressed by the development of science in the West, in Europe, and one can see that. He even assigns to Muslim thinkers methodologies of science which philosophers have now rejected. For example, he would say that the Greeks gave the deductive method and Muslims gave the inductive method, and science moves inductively. No philosopher today will accept that. So these are his biographical questions, and one has to understand under what circumstances he was saying what he was saying. So that is one thing. Now, as for his poetry, I think all of it is lost. All of it is lost. I mean, आप मुझे सुनाइए कोई नज़्म सुनाइए उनकी. I don't think you. I mean, अगर आप करेंगे तो you are an exception. If you do, and perhaps you can, but you will be an exception. अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि मुझे सुना दीजिए आप मस्जिद कुर्तुबा की कुछ मिसरे, तो मुश्किल हो जाएगी, है ना? और आप कुर्तुबा भी नहीं, आप कर्तबा कहेंगे. You will not say कुर्तुबा. Nobody says कुर्तुबा, which is the correct way of saying it. सब कर्तबा कहते हैं, कर्तबा. And I'm not concerned about काफ. You can say कुर्तुबा. I am not काफ और काफ की बहस मेरे लिए बेकार है. वो काफ ना अदा करें कोई बात नहीं. But you cannot change the vowels. That would be incorrect. This Qurtuba, which is considered to be the greatest Urdu poem ever written, yeah, by general consensus. Every critic will accept that it is the best Urdu poem ever written. I don't think you will. आपको याद है? नहीं याद है. So this is what I mean. All of it is gone. क्या याद होगा? लब पे आती है दुआ बन के तमन्ना भी. तो वो भी शायद पूरी ना याद हो. So all of it is gone because the thing is that languages are universes. They're not sounds. दुनियाएं हैं ना, वो कायनातें हैं. When you remove a language, you kill a language, you extinguish a universe. क्योंकि उसका एक conceptual framework होता है, उसका एक world view होता है, उसकी cosmology होती है ज़बान की. And all of it goes when the language goes, and language is more or less totally gone. So you cannot read it. You cannot read Ghalib, you cannot read Iqbal. Even if those of you who read English, वो भी बस यूं ही है, वाजिबी से है, right? Rudimentary. So that is the thing. That his biographical details are known, especially if it clashes with our ideals. कि जैसे कुश्ती लड़ना बुरी चीज़ है और कबूतरबाजी अच्छी चीज़ थोड़ी है. वो कबूतरबाजी करते थे इकबाल, पतंगी उड़ाते थे. कहाँ हो सकता है? नहीं, ये नहीं हो सकता. So it's our value system. So वो तो है, लेकिन in terms of poetry, my article in Herald, which you might want to look at, it's very easy, just my name and Herald, and it will pop up. उसका टाइटल है The Lost Verse. गुमशुदा, शेर गुमगश्ता, हरफ गुमगश्ता. So this is what I say, that we have lost it. And so much talk goes on, very little about his poetry. And I'm telling you that not knowing Iqbal's poetry is like you growing up without knowing the color red. How will you feel? You're a blind. You have never seen the color red, right? You have never seen the use of that language, those metaphors, those symbols, right? The depths of those meanings, you have not seen it. And you have been deprived of it. You have a right to know that. उसके जो अल्ताफ हैं, the refinement of language and ideas that he has is a serious loss, because you grow up without it. आपको क्यों नहीं दिया गया था? You should be shown the color red and the color green and the color blue. I cannot bring you up without knowing a specific color. And poetry is a very important thing, even in terms of, you know, law and order and peace. There's tremendous openness that it gives your heart. से कुशादगी तो पैदा होती है ना, कुशादगी तो पैदा होती है, दिल तो कुशादा होता है ना, खुलता है ना, तो उससे सख्ती कम हो जाती है. You become soft, you soften. This is a spiritual experience. It softens you.
इसके पास और सवाल नहीं है, मैं एक सवाल कर सकती हूँ. बात देख रहा हूँ. आपने कहा कि लैंग्वेजेस का खत्म होना.
जी.
तो आप जिक्र कर रहे हैं कि जो गुफ्तगू आज कॉन्फ्रेंस में थी कि रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस को पाकिस्तान में खत्म किया गया. गुजराती, मतलब कराची में 272 लैंग्वेजेस बोली जाती थी 47 में, और आज आप देख लीजिए कितनी लैंग्वेजेस बोली जाती हैं. और 15 डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस में अखबार निकलते थे right up to the 1960s. But by 1972, 74, all those newspapers were told to. तो ये जो state narrative build करता है इकबाल को लेके,
जी,
nation building,
जी,
और nation building का पाकिस्तान में nation building का या media studies में nation building का पाकिस्तानी context में इकबाल is the main culprit. Okay, the nation define करता है, और उनकी पोएट्री के थ्रू, उनके प्रोज के थ्रू. और जैसे आपने कहा अतिया फैजी का या फैजी हमीन का कहीं जिक्र नहीं आता है हमारे हिस्ट्री. इन बच्चों को, how many of you have heard of अतिया फैजी?
Nobody.
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 फैजी
And they don't even read my articles, which are in Dawn. उससे बड़ा अखबार कोई है नहीं. They don't read Herald. उसमें
How many of you have seen the building called Arts Council? All of you, nearly. Okay. Arts Council के साथ एक और building है, uncompleted building. It's called the Faizi Rahameen building, and that is the original Arts Council. तो अतिया फैजी का की इम्पोर्टेंस पाकिस्तान के लिए बहुत है. जैसे इकबाल की है, वैसे ही अतिया फैजी की है, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपना सारा पैसा डोनेट कर दिया कायदे आज़म के एक लफ्ज़ को कि हमें पैसा चाहिए. और she was from a Gora community, from Gujarati speaking, लेकिन उर्दू she had learned, English she had learned, French she had learned, German she had learned, educated lady. और वो यहाँ आ गई अपने मियाँ के साथ, फैजी रहमीन के साथ, और उनके साथ जो पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट ने हशर किया वो तो आप देख ही रहे हैं. तो ये जो हमने अपने हीरोज़ के साथ असर किया, तो ये जो एनाइलेशन ऑफ द लैंग्वेज है, और एंड जो आपने कहा कि अगर आपने लाल देखा ही नहीं है तो आप कैसे समझेंगे कि लाल क्या?
Yes, I mean, you know, there is a deprivation. There's a deprivation. I mean, you cannot grow up without seeing a particular color. It's what a deprivation it is. It's blindness. So we need to know this, and we have a right to be told. I should listen to Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan to hear those, you know, microtones. Kids grow up without even hearing microtones because Bollywood has no microtones. जब वो मुर्कियाँ लेते हैं ना उस्ताद बड़े गुलाम अली खान, तो जो साउंड का जो है, जो that sound you have never heard. बच्चे वो भी गड़बड़ है. You have to go to the original. You have to go to the original. That cannot be reproduced as easily as that. तो ये बात है कि you know, when I play classical music at my house, and I mean Western classical music, when I play Mozart or Haydn, so there are students, many students have never heard it, and then they're affected by it, and they ask me, "Sir, इसका कोई नाम भी है?" They have never heard, you know, the piano concerto, let's say, of Mozart. तो उसमें जो sound की variations हैं, जो subtonality है and subtonality है, if you have never heard it, you are deprived. ये मेरा मतलब है. Now, as for the loss of languages, there are multiple factors. There are internal factors and there are external factors. Internally, some languages die their own death because they don't produce much and not much work is done in them. So it is a responsibility for us to, for example, if you want Urdu, we have to do some work on Urdu. ऐसे तो खत्म हो जाएगी, right? And then there is also this massive politics that goes on. And I'm afraid that much of the discourse on languages is very politically charged, right? Very politically charged, yes.
How does it become politically charged? कोई तो करता होगा ना, कोई तो ये mechanism और
Yes.
बाल का सहारा लिया जाता है कि nation एक है तो एक language होनी चाहिए.
And I mean, this thesis is okay if it gives rise to some. इससे अगर एक हमआहंगी पैदा हो जाती है तो कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. हर जगह होता है, एक मुश्तरका ज़बान होती है, लिंक लैंग्वेज होती है, तो वो तो ठीक है, वो तो ठीक है. लेकिन ये कि you see, for example, Sindhi has an enormous amount of beautiful literature, बहुत ज़्यादा. And there is an Institute of Sindhology at Sindh University, and the library of Pir Husamuddin Rashidi, superb scholar, it's all there. लेकिन एक पैसे का काम वहाँ नहीं होता है, बिल्कुल नहीं होता है. Waste of money. You know, सिफारिशी और ये वो जिनको ना सिंधी आए, ना उर्दू आए, ना अंग्रेजी आए, ना जिनको कपड़े पहनने की तमीज़ है. देखने में तो खूबसूरत होना आदमी कम अज़ कम, वो भी नहीं है. You know, कम अज़ कम यही है ना कि he's a handsome guy, doesn't know a thing but he's handsome. वो भी नहीं है. तो अजीब अजीब लोग वहाँ बैठे हैं. And सिंधी को नारे कि हमको सिंधी चाहिए. भाई, you know, okay, but you don't have resources. You have to create resources. कहाँ से आ जाएगा? There are no resources. I cannot use Siraiki for teaching, you know, sciences. I just cannot. I don't have the vocabulary. I cannot use it for a court language because it has not developed. So one has to work hard to do it. So it is both. It is. मैं आपको बता दूँ कि any language, you pay attention to any language and it helps all other languages. My English has helped me for my Urdu because it's an attitude. It's an eye to detail. You need to know the semantic structures. You need to know the phonetic structures. You need to know the refinements of grammar and usages and idiom. I can apply the same thing to Urdu. You know, I know कि लकड़ी टूटे तो उसके लिए क्या आवाज़ है, हड्डी टूटे तो उसके लिए क्या लफ्ज़ है, और अगर दिल टूटे तो उसके लिए क्या लफ्ज़ है, right? Three different words. लकड़ी का टूटना और हड्डी का टूटना और दिल का टूटना, उसके लिए अलग अलग अल्फाज हैं, right? You see what I mean? So you have to know all of that. And if I know the nuances in English, I know that there are nuances in languages. I noticed, for example, uses of certain tenses in Punjabi. Not that I have studied Punjabi, but because I know the science of grammar, so I can tell कि यहाँ देखिए continuous tense कैसे इस्तेमाल किया. जैसे कि हम लोग कहते हैं in Urdu you say कि मैं इधर से जाया करता हूँ. This is Urdu idiom. मैं इधर से जाया करता हूँ. The Punjabi idiom will be मैं इधर से जाता होता हूँ. इधर से मैं जाता होता हूँ मैं हुंदा. वो है ना कि वो होने का जो है ना यूज़, आप कहाँ होते हैं आजकल. This is the Punjabi idiom. ये नहीं कि आप कहाँ रहते हैं. आजकल मैं लाहौर में होता हूँ, है ना. मैं खेलता होता था, वो बातें करते होते थे. This is Punjabi idiom. This is not Urdu idiom. Particular use of the continuous tense, which is cute to me. Whatever. But you have an eye to detail. Any language. हमारे यहाँ तो कुछ भी नहीं है ना. Even English. वो भी नहीं है. वो भी टूटी फूटी उल्टी सीधी वही है. Street type. जी. Right.
Papers, but they had no academic input. They were all sentimentally charged, and
Yes.
they were giving statements like, "They have to walk over our dead body to
Yes.
finish this language."
Yes.
or that.
Yes.
I mean, they didn't have any research to talk about.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
So
I totally agree. It's highly.
This is what happened today also, actually.
It's highly disappointing. Abhi recently there was a conference, Urdu conference at the Arts Council. Now you know the real Arts Council. उसमें there is always एक तबर्रुक के तौर पर एक वो होता है सेशन, जिसको कहते हैं पाकिस्तान की कौमी ज़बान है, क्योंकि it's politically incorrect to say regional. वाई रीजनल, तो कौमी ज़बान, नेशनल लैंग्वेजेस ऑफ पाकिस्तान। तो वहाँ यही हो रहा था, अब डेटा कहाँ से आया है, फ्लिम्जी है, इज इट फ्लिम्जी और इज इट एनेक्डोटल, इतने बोलने वाले हैं ये। लेकिन एक मज़े की बात मैं आपको बताऊं, दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग सोशियोलॉजिकल फैक्ट that those who were opposing this kind of use of कि हम सिराइकी को बना दें कौमी ज़बान और बलूची को बना दें और सिंधी को बना दें और बरहवी को बना दें, those who most vehemently opposed it were people from Punjab. They were very happy, यार छोड़ो कैसी बात, because they have a stake in Urdu, an enormous stake in Urdu. I mean, Iqbal was not born in Lucknow or Delhi, right? Faiz Ahmad Faiz was not born in Lucknow or Delhi. Noom Rashid is from Gujranwala, right? Nasir Kazmi is from Lahore, right? They have an enormous stake in Urdu, and they were the ones who actually were opposing it amazingly. कि छोड़ें कैसी बात, जाओ अच्छा जाओ जो अपने बच्चे को बलोची पढ़ाओ, है कहाँ, न किताबें हैं न रिसोर्सेज हैं, तो खाली नारों से तो काम नहीं चलता ना. And you must know one language properly to know all others. Even if you teach me English properly, I'll have a sense of Urdu. Even if you teach me English. कि जो उर्दू अच्छी तरह जानते हैं उनके लिए काफ़ी है कि वो then they can get into the depths of philological fine points of Urdu. पता चल जाएगा. So this is how it is.
The other thing I've always been interested since I was a student, the concept of a nation that Bismarck gave to Germany, and
Yes.
later by Hitler, and still now the right-wing party. But Iqbal plays a very important part, like Nietzsche. Iqbal is Heidelberg. The most beautiful part of Heidelberg is called Iqbal. And
Iqbalstrasse, Spy Street, yeah.
Iqbalstrasse,
Yeah.
right next to the
Necker, yes.
yeah, right. And when German scholars come here and they say, we don't see the aesthetics of Iqbal in Karachi. Lahore we used to see, but now we don't see. We've got rid of it. And the other country that has embraced Iqbal and his ideology was Turkey,
Yes.
modern day Turkey.
Yes.
And the third is Iran.
Yes.
And I was shocked. I mean, Iran, you take a taxi, and the moment the guy finds out, and this is a taxi cab driver, okay, you would not think him to be that educated, which he's not. Right? But we talk about paid Pakistan. The moment you mention Pakistan, and I'm talking about Tehran, I'm talking about Isfahan, I'm talking about Mashhad, even up north, Azerbaijan, and the moment you mention Pakistan, he'll immediately say, oh, और वो आपको एक बार का कोई शेर सुना देगा, and you're clueless, saying, oh, you're from that land, and जब पहली दफा मैं हिंदुस्तानी के स्टूडेंट्स को ईरान लेके गया, तो they were shocked कि इस्फहान की सड़कों पे जो कलम बाजार है, जहाँ कलम बनती है और कैलीग्राफी की जाती है, हर दुकानदार को इकबाल रटा, क्योंकि वो लिखते हैं इकबाल की पोएट्री. वो कहते हैं कि हमारे कल्चर में इकबाल आइकॉन है, हीरो है. You can't touch him, he's up there. Okay? But we know nothing about it.
Yes, that is the.
And we don't even know
Yeah.
what is.
Yes, that is the painful irony that Iqbal is all over.
And even India. India has adopted Iqbal. Sare Jahan Se Achha Hindustan Hamara is the national, it's bigger than Vande Mataram in India, all over India.
Yes.
हालांकि उर्दू में, हिंदी में नहीं, लेकिन उर्दू में. But
जी,
they have
जी.
embraced Iqbal. तो अगर
Yes, this is the irony that Iqbal is all over the place, and yet we are so far away from him. Iqbal School or Iqbal Street or Iqbal Airport or Yuvarbo, but we cannot read the first page of Banki Dara. If I get three of you and ask you to name all the books of Iqbal, I think you will typically fail. You might be an exception, but you typically fail.
But sir, are Purani courses are being offered, they are making this Ibadia compulsory for the students to study over there, but not other, like in other private institutes or universities. Not
Well, I mean, there are courses on Iqbal, yeah, but they are pretty bad. I mean, they are depressing, and those who teach Iqbal don't know Iqbal. They cannot read Iqbal. They just cannot.
All is full of them.
It's all over, but they generally, by and large, they cannot even read Iqbal. This is the issue. So really, we don't know. We have no idea.
We had a conference on Ibadia, the modern or the traditional poet, and we had people come in from Iqbal Academy, defend Iqbal,
Yes.
and I was quite amazed at the superficiality that
Yes, it is.
were dealing
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
This is the Iqbal Academy, which is like a multi-million-dollar institution.
It is.
Millions of
It
dollars
is.
are
It, it is a mess. It's a total mess because they've had no director
Yeah.
for the last year or so, and the previous director took Iqbal Academy to the court. So there was there was a court hearing on Iqbal Academy, and at the moment it's a total mess. Nothing is happening. Nothing is
Supposed to be now.
nothing is happening. Like Urdu University here.
That's right, like Urdu University.
Yeah. Gee.
I was saying it's
Gee, gee.
kahan hai ye?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there.
Anyway, I mean, I really would welcome questions from students. You must. अच्छा बीबी आप इसको you're playing constantly with the phone. Please stay away. चंद मिनट के बाद मैं चला जाऊंगा. जाएं खेलती रहें उससे आप सारी रात खेलती रहें. मेरे आंखों के सामने ना ये काम करें. This is really bad manners. जी. I mean, you have asked a question before. I'll certainly take a question from you if there is nobody else. कोई और नहीं है सवाल करने के लिए. If there's nobody else, then I'll take a question from this student again. He has asked a question before. Nobody? All right, chalein, bismillah. Right. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
How do you change the structure? Okay, I know it's going to be a slow process, but there must be some way to alter thought to foster intellectual growth among students.
Yes.
We can't just talk about problems and say they are not real problems. We can read tribunals for Charles so 500 mistake those posts like that. They never give you an answer. They never tell you that this guy is also doing a good thing. We are always talking about problems and there's no one giving a solution to the problem.
देखिए एक बात मैं आपको बताऊं कि I cannot give you a grand solution. ये तो हो नहीं सकता. I can give you a little minuscule solution, right? You paint a mural on a wall and you paint a miniature. I can only paint a miniature. I cannot do a mural. It has to be self-propelled. You have to start reading. कोई मुश्किल नहीं है. I mean, for example, Columbia has a website which was developed by Francis Pritchard, which has the entire Diwan-e-Ghalib totally translated, explained word by word by word. कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं. If you are willing, if you have the will, you have to do it yourself. The system is not going to give it to you. The system did not give it to me. I had to do it myself. and you have to do readings. You don't read. I don't mean you personally. I mean your generation. आप लोग तो नहीं पढ़ते ना. आप लोगों को तो मेरा मजमून भी नहीं पढ़ा. Let alone Atiya Faizi, you don't even know Noman ul Haq because I'm in Dawn. Dawn तक में नहीं पढ़ते. Dawn तो अखबार है उसकी जितनी millions of copies छपते हैं आप वो भी नहीं पढ़ते. So you have no reading habits, right? So you have to develop that, and only through that, when you're in good company, you develop these things, and you have to read good stuff, not sensational stuff, not that great sansanikhez mawad, but the serious, dignified literature. And if you do that, then you will make progress. You have to get intellectual training yourself, one thing, and then there are possibilities. You know, the IBA is now doing social sciences and the liberal arts. Now my students here, we do literature, we do philosophy, we do languages, we do music, we do art. So as a tonic, everybody is becoming an accountant. Everybody is selling shampoo and towels. There are those who are in the business of intellectual commodities, and that is necessary for us, you know, if we want to develop an intelligentsia. G.
What you're referring to are very elitist platforms that cater to like minuscule population.
Yes, yes.
IBO, we have Travis in Japan.
Yes.
But again, you're referring to like 1 or 2% of the population. So more than half the population doesn't even know what Colombia is or where Colombia is.
Yes.
So how can you like,
I mean, you know, I really, you know, I completely understand your position. What is the expression? I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. वो तो मुझे पता है. लेकिन I think that I do not accept this elitist narrative. I have students who have come from, you know, villages in Balochistan and Punjab, who let alone English, who cannot even speak Urdu properly. I was in LUMS for a decade, and LUMS has an outreach program, and in that outreach program, one of my students, his father is a carpenter who worked in my house. Carpenter's son was my student. Now he is doing his PhD at the University of Massachusetts in America. He was a National Outreach Program student. There are many such cases. Elitist, I really don't know. I think that everybody has the ability to appreciate fine things in life. Everybody. Good art, good language, good poetry. Everybody. In fact, this is elitist to say that only elite people understand that.
I didn't say that what I'm saying.
No, I mean, you are not saying it, but it is elitist to claim that this is all elitist. No, and you try, you get your grades, your merit, and we'll take you at IBA or Rabis. Rabis also has a program of scholarship, right? I don't think all of you have done A-levels. My students, not all of them they come from metric inter, and some of them really do better in the end than those who have come from grammar schools and HSNs. They're better than HSonians, some of them in the end. I have a student who is in Chicago, did his master's degree from Columbia, now he's doing his PhD from Chicago. He is an NOP student. Metric inter के Jacob Line second में metric किया था, then he ended up in Harvard. So it is not elitist. I don't think so. I really don't think so. अब ये आप कहें कि उसको पेट के मसाइल हैं, तो वो पेट के मसाइल भी हल हो जाते हैं इससे. I do not know a single graduate of LUMS who does not have a job. Graduate of social sciences and the humanities. एक बच्चा भी ऐसा नहीं है जिसके पास चार ऑफर. My students who do social sciences and humanities, 2 of them. I just joined IBA, so I was in LUMS. The first batch, 2 of them ended up in Harvard with full funding. 2 of them. Shiraz and Shahryar, they are both in Harvard with full funding. And while Shahryar was a student, I had money for him. I have money, I have grants, but I don't have students. अगर आपको ज़बान आती है तो I can give you money. You can do some research for me. लेकिन आप पढ़ ही नहीं सकेंगे. मैं कहूँ कि कहाँ लफ्ज़ गुलशन आया है गालिब के यहाँ, और आप गालिब को पढ़ नहीं सकते तो I cannot give you the money. But Shiraz could. I trained him, and he was making money while he was a student. You know, OUP hired him as an intern, and OUP has continued its contract with Shiraz even though he's at Harvard, still getting money from Harvard. My students have many offers, and they do very well indeed. तो ये कहना कि वो तो elitist है, उसको तो नौकरी चाहिए, नौकरी करने के लिए तो उसको कारखानदारी सीखनी चाहिए, वो the person has to learn how to fix the tire. Fine. You have to pay attention. No, wait a minute. I have to convince this kid. Yes, go ahead.
I'm not saying that at all.
Good,
I think
good.
you said what I'm saying.
That's right.
I'm not saying that yes, they somehow inferior intellectually to the land population. I'm not saying that they have less capability than us, the 1%.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
Right,
I'm
right.
saying where are the institutions, where are the platforms for them to actually
IBA is a platform now.
No, but not everyone can afford IBA. Not everyone.
I'm saying that we have scholarship.
So even if you have scholarships, fine. That's the only
चले 10 तो है ना 10
I'm talking about the mass population.
10 से
So
10 से
million people.
मगर you know we have scholarships and even and it is increasing day by day by day. पहले 10 था फिर 20 हुआ 200 हो गया lumps में they started with 20 now they have 400 scholarships and there are more scholarships. It happens. It will expand. So ऐसा नहीं है कि it's all elitist. We have a diversity of people and one must not be discouraged by that fact. सीधी बात नहीं है. You know, lumps is more or less these days need blind. If you're admitted, you'll get money. If you're admitted, Harvard is need blind. If you're admitted, they'll give you money. Totally need money.
Maybe universities of what I've read or what I know of what my father himself went to college, so I know how the structure of universities abroad works. If you are admitted, like you said, they will do anything to pay you. They will even give you money for food if they have to.
Yes.
This, I think I agree with you. There is this idea that ठीक है access का issue है, education on a primary level there is an issue. ठीक है primary level पे since has the worst literacy rate amongst all
I'm
the
talking about the core foundation.
we're not talking about but you gave an example of IBA, you gave an example of the elite.
Yes, I'm saying people who actually get to IBA, you have to be from a certain background.
Order in the house. देखिए एक बात सुने listen I think this student has a point. What he is saying, it does have a point. I mean there are so many talented kids who have no motivation. They don't even know what they're capable of. So they won't even reach the stage when they know how to apply. उनको तो पता नहीं. So really it is absolutely right. लेकिन थोड़ा सा solution हमारे पास है. I think we should value that. थोड़ा सा तो है ना. थोड़ा सा है कि we try to you know de-elitize these places. You know, it is a matter. It is not Oxford or Cambridge in the traditional sense. It's like the American system. If you're good, you're in.
That's in Oxford, Cambridge. Philosophy is very simple. They say that people who are affluent, who can afford, okay, are no good for society because their stomachs are full. But adversity creates creativity. People who don't get to fill their stomachs, they are more creative. So therefore, help them. That's why universities give you scholarships.
Yeah.
I'm an example of this. Okay, I went to Oxford. My parents could not afford £10,000 a year at that time, plus accommodation. But when I applied and I got admissions, and I said I'm coming from Pakistan, no argument. Just tell us your financial position and we will help. Nobody ever questioned me, nobody ever judged me, nobody probably ever found out that I was on 100% scholarship.
This is true. So
And the Arkan Foundation was paying for it. I had nobody.
yes.
Somebody was paying for it. But
Yeah,
they said, they only asked me one question. Can you live on bread and water? I said, to get educated, yes, I can live on bread and water. And they said, that's all we need to do.
Yes.
You don't need, but I got my fancy accommodation, I got my...
We live in a society where most people cannot read or write.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I completely agree that there is a problem. It's not that one would not recognize the problem that you have in mind, one would. All I'm saying is that there are some opportunities at some level and one must not undermine them. Let's expand those opportunities. And you know, we also require, at least in LUMS, we require the senior students to go to disadvantaged areas and teach them. They would go to, let's say, some broken neighborhood, right? What is it, Liari or something. And they would sit with the kids and teach them, you know, the languages, basic skills and from. It was a requirement. So they went and they did that work. So कुछ तो हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है. और लोग ये समझते हैं मेरे बच्चे का दाखिला ऐसे नहीं हुआ तो मेरे पास पैसे नहीं, तो ये दिस लेम आर्ग्यूमेंट. तो बच्चे का एडमिशन हुआ होता तो हो जाता, और हार्वर्ड में होता तो हार्वर्ड तो वैसे ही officially need blind. It is totally need blind. Brain, they'll find you money. So you know, there is hope. There is hope. And especially if you go and you teach in Liari and so on, and be with those kids, bring them over here. If you go to the University of Pennsylvania in the summer, this is an Ivy League school, you know, top of the top. You find it full of black kids. In the summer, they open their doors to local kids. They come, they live in the dorms, they go to the theater.
Everywhere around the world.
Harvard, it's full of black kids. It is full of black kids in the summer. They want to incorporate them, they want to rehabilitate them into the mainstream of society. And this happens. You see, the president was a black guy. You see, sir, it did happen. Anyway, any further questions? You again, you are doubling up, right? Okay. देखिए मैं आपको बताऊं कि as far as I am concerned, you know, the rhythms, the music, the rise and fall, that was enough for me to enjoy it. In the beginning, I sometimes never understood about it, but still it meant a lot to me. Asle shuhud o shahid o mashhud, what is the meaning of this? I really did not know when I was 15, I didn't know. But I loved it. Asle shuhud o shahid o mashhud, I loved it. नक्श फरियादी है किसकी शौक़ है तहरीर काबदी है पैरानी हर बेहतर तस्वीर का. It made no sense. But you see its musicality, its rhythm, its sound patterns, right? And some familiarity with some of the things, naqsh and so on. So you don't have to worry about it. I think that it is not a mechanical process. कि पहले मतलब मालूम हो, just read it. And you will enjoy it. आपको मैं बताऊं कि you know, people go and watch opera gallery. They go and watch Latin opera, right? एक लफ्ज़ समझ नहीं आता. But you do enjoy it. The opera, when the voice goes up, and the crescendos and the baritone, you don't understand the words. I can challenge you that some of rock music you will not be able to make sense of the words. ठीक है, I'm sure. Guns and Roses now to play करूँ तो नहीं समझ आएगा क्या कहा है. But you still love it, right? You love it. So it is this. I have seen little kids in UAE singing Indian movie songs, Bollywood songs. They don't understand it. वो भी गाते हैं मम्मी बदनाम भी हो रहा है.
The whole of China sings it. They don't know what it is.
They don't know it. So उसमें खुद एक लुत्फ है. तो उसको when don't sort of give it a structure which is not needed in poetry. उसका तो उसकी तो अपनी आवाज़ है ना, उससे तो खुद उससे एक असर पैदा होता है. फिर बाद में समझ में आए ना आए वो अलग बात है. कुछ चीज़ें समझ में नहीं आती हैं, फिर भी वो दरीचे खोल देती हैं ज़हन. Any I can give you another 5 minutes. जी. Right.
So that is the main thing which is being
there is no crude one-to-one correspondence. There is no कि यहाँ ये लिखा है इकबाल ये लिखा है ऐसा तो नहीं और न ऐसा है इकबाल ने quoted verses of the Quran in his poetry and पूरे कुरान आयत जो चश्मे अक़वाम के नज़ारा अबद तक देखते. This is from Shikwa. चश्मे अक़वाम के नज़ारा अबद तक देखते रफ़ते रफ़अना लक ज़िक्रक रफ़अना लक इन्ना बुलंद कर. This is the Quran from Baqarah. ठीक है ना? तो उसमें पूरा इन्ना वाला हक़ुल जाना है ना? वो सब है. लेकिन crude one-to-one correspondence करना is killing your imaginative faculties by doing it mechanically. Iqbal may have integrated the Quranic style, the rhetorical stuff. He may have done that, and probably he did, because there is rhetorical stuff. There is rhetorical stuff. You can linguistic. इसमें games ना sports, al-Qariya to mal-Qariya, al-Raw to mal-Qariya. ये क्या चीज़ है? What is the meaning of it? What can you draw out of this? This is beautiful. Al-Qariya, something rattles. What it is that rattles? You know, and often you have structures such as you have an assertive line, then you have an interrogative line, then you have an assertive line. Then sometimes you have an assertive line, then you have an interrogative line, and then the answer to the interrogation. ये है ना? क्या है? इन्ना अंज़लनाहु फ़ी लैलतिल क़द्र. हो गया?
For example, what I meant was कि I met someone from Iqbal Academy और उन्होंने तो पूरा सेशन इसलिए बेस किया था कि 90 आदमी निर्मला जो है पूरी अलम शरीफ पे बेस्ड है.
Yeah,
that is the only thing which is being taught to students कि Iqbal did this और यही हमें सीखना समझना चाहिए.
What do you want me to do? To condemn it?
No, I'm asking your opinion.
You're pushing it out of me.
I mean,
I'm saying the same thing. लेकिन मैं बिल्कुल खुले अल्फाज में कहूँ क्यों मुझे मजबूर कर? Yes, I condemn. I told you that it will kill your imaginative faculties if you do it so crudely. Even Faiz Sahab has influenced the Quran, but not so crudely. Faiz Sahab क्या है? अरबी ज़बान अगर आपको मालूम है, अरबी ज़बान में existential verb नहीं होता. अल-वज़ीर कबीरुन कहते हैं, इसका मतलब है कि वज़ीर बड़ा है नहीं आता. There is no verb, there is no to be, there is no existential verb in Arabic. So strings of nouns. Faiz Sahab क्या भी strings of nouns आते हैं. रह गुज़र साए शजर मंजिल उतर हर बाम जाम शीशा जाम तुराही तेरे हाथों की गुलाब. nouns, strings of nouns. These are influences. लेकिन crudely उसको ये कहना कि वो प्यारी दुआ बंद कर, तो this is too far-fetched. This is too far. But you know the point of education is to liberate you, right? The point is to liberate you, not to enslave you. ये मतलब. Bad art satisfies your imagination. Good art emancipates you. Right? I mean, if you Tom and Jerry के cartoon जो है, it is very satisfying, right? लेकिन Shakespeare liberates you. वो तो खुल जाता है ना. Tom and Jerry वो बात नहीं. This is what I say about Bollywood. Bollywood is very satisfying to imagination, but it does not open up. I have to do something else in order for my intellect to open up and see new visions of life. नई खिड़कियाँ, नई दरीचे, तो उससे नहीं खुलती हैं. इसको लगता है जैसे जो बच्चों के लिए cartoons are for children, because it does not have any deeper meanings. लेकिन when you speak in terms of symbols and metaphors, when you talk in terms of cosmological truths, this is something else. तो ये बात है. उसको ये one-to-one correspondence. This is part of the same story. What of madrasas and what of Karachi University? एक ही बात. Why single out Madaris? Why single out? सबका ही. Right?
Cartesian perspectivism, Descartes का I think therefore I am, the way it is taught, I just find it very surprising. It's so literal that I think therefore I am. So That's how it is. But they don't look at the multidimensional part of what Pilato was talking about. I mean, I've heard speakers.
You see, you know, when you come to this level in a college and a university, you should be able to handle abstract ideas.
Yes.
You have to have the ability to handle abstract ideas and complex notions. If I give you oversimplified things, you will never grow into it. हर चीज बिल्कुल clear हो जाएगी. There are ambiguities in that, right? There are ambiguities in thought. There's a book called 7 Types of Ambiguity. And art is art because it is ambiguous and give rise to many meanings. That is the whole thing. You know, मैं कौन हूँ? हम न पता सोच जान. मैं कौन हूँ? This is the question. Who am I? This is the question. नासिर काज़मी says ये सुबह की सफेदियाँ, ये दोपहर की गर्दियाँ, अब आईने में देखता हूँ मैं कहाँ चला गया, अब आईने में देखता हूँ मैं कहाँ चला गया, मैं कहाँ था? Where am I? These are interrogations which are so meaningful. अब अगर आप मूवी की सॉन्ग ले लें कि तेरी कमर अच्छी, तेरी आँखें अच्छी हैं और परम पिचकारी जो तूने मुझे मारी तो थोड़ी शराबी हो गई, that is low level question. अब वो तो इसमें कोई मंतव्य भी नहीं है कि वो पिचकारी मारने से शराबी कैसे हो जाती है, गीली हो जाए, लाल हो जाए, मगर शराबी कैसे? See, there is no logic. शराबी कैसे हो गई? Right? I will
understanding the ecology for that.
ये शराबी हो गई.
हाँ, जब कृष्ण ने पिचकारी मारी तो राधा शराबी हो गई. She never got married to him, but she's a general.
But anyway, the point is that there is sentimental poetry. There is sentimental poetry. तेरी कमर ऐसी है, तेरी आँखें ऐसी हैं, तेरा इंतजार कर रहा हूँ, तू नहीं आएगी तो मर जाऊँगा. This is sentimental poetry. Hollywood would never write like that. We would not do this. This is too sentimental. And film, Bollywood poetry is like that. तेरे बिना जीना और ये, तेरे बिन में कैसे जिया. This is very direct. It's very direct. And directness is faithful to the poetic lover. उसके ऊपर तो वो पर्दा होना चाहिए ना. जब तक पर्दा ना हो ना उसका इल्हाम का. And the UG ना हो तो it's not good art. एक शेर सुना दो फारसी का and then I'll end. This is from Hafiz. Hafiz, अजीब आदमी Hafiz. गुलबर्ग रा ज़े सुंबुले मुश्किल नक़ाब कुन. गुलबर्ग रा ज़े सुंबुले मुश्किल नक़ाब कुश. यानी कि रुख बेहोश और जहानी खराब. अपने चेहरे को अपने बालों से छुपा ले ताकि तुम्हारा चेहरा छुपे और तुम न करो. यानी कि रुख बेहोश और जहानी खराब, पूरे बर्बाद. Then you wonder के पीछे है क्या? उनका आंचल है कि रुखसार की तरह कुछ तो है जिससे हुई जाती है चिलमन की, है ना? उनका आंचल है कि रुखसार की तरह है क्या? See, this is the struggle. अगर कर दिया कि लब पे आती है तो आप मन के जो फना है क्या है तो ये get it. 1-to-1 correspondence हो गया हिसाब पाक. इससे बता नहीं? तो ये जो क्वेश्चन है पैसा का कि उनका आंचल है कि रुखसार की तरह में कुछ तो है जिससे हुई जाती है चिलमन रंगीन. चिलमन रंगीन हुई किसी है. That is the interrogation. That's very nice. So वो तो कराची यूनिवर्सिटी में भी है. वो I don't know about here और मदारिस में भी है. तो why single out मदारिस? वो तो एक ही यहाँ से वहाँ तक कहानी तो एक ही है, वही लोग same people. ठीक है, I think we are really out of time. So thank you very much. Oh, you didn't have to do this. Oh, thank you so much.
We can't thank you enough for your
Well, my pleasure, man.
time that you spent. I know you have a busy schedule.
Thank you so much.
Martha writes a lot and spends a lot of time with his students in training them and finding the right gem that he can